The roles of men and women in marriage are shifting dramatically as society's core structure is being radically altered. Men are having a hard time adjusting to a world where patriarchy no longer exists. In the end, relinquishing power is not simple. This is the actual cause of the high number of unhappy marriages. Men feel that laws are biased against them, and they have good reason to believe that. It's sad and frustrating to see society come to this because it shouldn't be like this. There's a reason why waiting till marriage was pushed a long time ago, because it meant being exclusive to one person. And this goes for men as well. Marriages and relationships were possible because people were disciplined and respectful. Sure, not all men were virgins back in the day, but the intimacy didn't affect them like it did women, which is why women were always protected by their fathers and even brothers. It's true that men who never get married sometimes lead happier, more fulfilling lives. Therefore, regardless of your relationship status, if you're unsure about whether marriage is the best decision for you, we can offer you some advice. You must comprehend why marriage is not as significant as it is portrayed to be. The notion of forever and happily ever after may seem too unrealistic for them to consider to be true, which is one of the reasons why men no longer desire to get married. Men who grew up in dysfunctional families and have first-hand experience with the toxins that unhappy marriages can produce may find this to be especially true. Some guys fall in love, but they don't require a marriage license to demonstrate their dedication to their spouses. Additionally, some guys merely do not believe that marriage is worth the effort. A lot of women's strategy to get married is to gaslight. She will tell you that she doesn't believe in divorce. Marriage is the most special thing ever. Then post-marriage, she will tell you that it's just a piece of paper and people are allowed to change. So essentially, this leaves you, having loved a person that never existed. Studies show a decline in marriage rates. In the US, there were 340,000 fewer marriages in 2020 than there were in 2019. The decline of 16.8% is sufficient evidence that males are delaying marriage. But why is this taking place? According to University of Maryland sociology professor Philip Cohen, women's independence and gender equality is a huge factor in the long-term decline in marriage. You should pursue your aspirations while you're still in your 20s, even if you're still unsure of what you want in a partner. Many young men today are afraid that getting married may interfere with their ambitions and plans for the future. The good news for guys is that they are less concerned about their biological clock than women are. However, the social pressure on many males to achieve financial security before marriage is a drawback. These elements have a part in men's declining marriage rates nowadays. A successful marriage is not everyone's cup of tea. Almost half of all marriages end up in divorce, which makes me question the purpose behind marriage in the first place. Plus, divorce is a long drawn-out legal battle that saps your resources and continues to do so even after the proceedings. Sometimes, even with a prenup involved, the divorce doesn't really go down smoothly. Marriage just feels like you're setting yourself up for financial and mental pain in the future, so why do it? According to studies, 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce, and 80% of those divorces are initiated by women. Since women are more likely to initiate divorce, men usually end up paying a lot more for a divorce. The fear of being financially exploited is one of the reasons behind men avoiding marriage nowadays. In the United States, no-fault divorces are legal in all 50 states, while in the UK, 62% of divorces are started by women. Researchers are saying that women's independence is the reason why more women now want to initiate divorce, and that it is due to feminism that women have such a high number in this particular statistic. According to a BBC article, many women's expectations when they enter marriage may fail to match reality. Experts say that they often have a higher expectation of how a partner will meet their emotional needs than men, which can lead to disappointment post-wedding. Here's another statistic that will shock you. Most women get primary custody of children in the vast majority of divorce cases. So women may feel they have less to lose when filing for divorce compared to men. And in some ways, they are right, Evidence shows men's well-being tends to drop much more dramatically immediately following a divorce. This shows that men are more likely to be worse off than ever before after marriage. And this is one of the reasons why more and more men are avoiding marriage. The research also adds that men tend to get lonelier after a divorce, while women are more likely to find a partner and settle down with another man. Coming to no-fault divorces. No-fault divorce is a type of divorce where the applicant or applicants don't need to provide reasons to the law for filing for divorce. This means that anyone can file for divorce at any time and not give any reason for doing so, and the state does not legally need any reason from them to pursue the divorce case. Historically, men were the primary wage earners. Women desired these rich, resourceful men. Society has changed dramatically since then. Nowadays, women are earning money at high rates. In some cases, they are the breadwinners, out-earning their husbands. This is an issue for women desiring a partner who is wealthy and more successful than they are. Being the breadwinner also tends to lead to relationship dissatisfaction for married women who earn more than their husbands and achieve a higher status. It's even worth it to say that the safe way a man can get married is if the woman makes more and there are no children. When I say safe, I mean financially. Unless you're a Cha or Tyrone, you won't be respected at all. Also, you're going to have to lower your beauty standards. No pretty woman is even noticing a non-Chad that makes less than her. It just isn't worth it. The problem men have today is that we've been educated that men and women are equal. There was this sense and understanding that men are providers where they are the breadwinners for the family, as well as their protectors from other men or from the evils of society. And if you don't provide that role, you'd get kicked out of your community. Or if the man is an alcoholic or an abuser, he'd be divorced. So that's what divorce used to mean for men. But now, after the feminist no-fault divorce phenomenon, it has changed the game entirely. Now, the men of this generation and the next who have been brought up in the era of feminism, and who are made to believe that men and women are equal, have to then also pay for child support. They have to pay for alimony, fight for their kids, while the society tells everyone that men and women are equal. That doesn't make sense if you think about it. There's nothing in such a situation. The worst part for men is that marriage is no longer required to go through a divorce, since common law has been recognized as a virtually legal substitute. I find it funny that if a man and a woman live together for a certain number of years, they may be considered common law, but two guys can live together indefinitely as roommates. Many guys enjoy living independently, away from their families, and purchasing all they desire with their own money. They are occupied crossing off items on their bucket lists and are hesitant to let go of anything. After all, losing one's identity in a marriage is a frightening concept. Men don't marry because cohabitation and live-in partnerships, which allow two individuals to have a healthy, personal connection without giving it a name, are becoming more popular among men. No-fault divorce is just another way of saying no-commitment marriage. If your partner can just wake up one day and decide that they're bored and want out of a marriage, sign a piece of paper, take the kids, probably the house too, and half of your stuff. What rational human being would want to get married? Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.